So, what can I do for you?
I just honestly, since I was getting into it, I just wanted to make sure that I was, underwriting and like my offers are correct, using Deal Sniper right, using the deal calculator right. And basically that's it.
All right, cool. So, you need help underwriting a deal? Like you already underwrote one. You want to give me the numbers and see if you did it right?
Yeah, I underwrote 15. And just because I thought that they were good properties, had good percentages like cash on cash, cash flow, stuff like that. Um, but I don't know if it's like 100% right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can go ahead and take a look at one of them.
All right. So for the first one, could you look at 9042?
Oh, I don't need the address. I just need the numbers.
Oh,
What kind of deal is it? Because it's going to go on YouTube, so you don't want anybody to snake your deal. What's the what kind of deal is it? Is it a seller finance, a hybrid, or a subject to?
seller finance. I think I only did like 4 subject to just because, I'm not 100% sure, like understanding like with like how to like go about that with agent, stuff like that. So I just stuck with seller finance.
Okay, what's the purchase price?
292.
All right, what's the seller finance amount?
272.
All right, and what will the place rent for?
Uh, Give me a second. I gotta look it back up in Deal Sniper because I just wrote everything down, but except that part.
Did you write down the tax and insurance?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, wait a minute. If you underwrote this using the calculator, isn't it in the calculator? Or this was just one of your first ones?
Yeah, that was one of my first ones.
Right.
I did a bunch of stuff.
I mean, I will take a look at one of them, and if you're underwriting one right, then chances are you're doing them all right.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I can break down the sub 2 for you.
All right, perfect. So estimated rent 2,100.
All right. Taxes and insurance.
Taxes 365. Insurance 1,100.
$365 for the insurance for the taxes. All right. And then what does Deal Sniper say we should be giving them monthly?
900.
Yeah, this deal's fantastic.
Okay, so like
you've got a less than 12% entry fee, and then again, if we take, which I don't want you guys to start doing, but you really want to know what it actually is, you're under 10% for your entry fee percentage for the actual deal itself. You got a 25, almost 25.5% cash on cash return, and the property will be making about $9,000 a year for the investor. So yeah, this is a good property. What's the condition?
It's like new, like it's like every single like property I went on, like I said, would I buy this house? Like, is it new? Would I buy it? And I mean, the condition is like perfect.
Yeah, then
renovation, like.
I mean, even if it needs 10 grand worth of work, like cosmetic stuff, clean the floors, paint, this is still a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're underwriting. I mean, assuming you got the same numbers I just got.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure they're.
Yeah, then you're golden. So then what's your hang up with subject to?
Well, I just don't know what's considered good subject to.
A good subject to is when they have a mortgage.
Yeah.
And they don't want or can't take their equity.
Okay.
So or someone in foreclosure or pre-foreclosure, that's a good subject to. The only difference with that is that whatever there are in arrears behind, that's coming out of their down payment. For example, let's take a look at this one that you already gave me. So let's say this was a subject to, and they had a $272,000 mortgage, right?
Yeah.
So our investor is going to take over that mortgage. We're going to give them 20 grand to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good subject to. Now, when they want their equity, but they're willing to do a creative deal and they have a mortgage, that's a hybrid, which means we're going to subject to the mortgage and then we're going to give them their equity. We're just going to give it to them over time through payments.
Okay. That seems very straightforward, very simple.
I mean, everyone thinks that creative financing is hard, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of nuances to it, but once you know it, it makes sense. I mean, for a subject to, if if they're okay with us just giving them a large lump sum and they walk away from the property, that's fine. It doesn't really matter the circumstance as to why. It could be they got a promotion, they need to move real quick. Something happened. They just bought the house a couple of months ago. They don't have any equity. It'll cost them money to list it. Okay, that's a subject to all day. But if they do want their equity, yeah, we'll give it to them. It's just going to be over time. That's what a seller finance is. Seller finance, 100% of that $292,000 purchase price that you're offering them, that's all equity because there's no mortgage. So we're giving them their equity. We're just giving it to them over time through payments. It's the same thing with a hybrid. We're going to take over that mortgage. Oh, you want your equity? Okay, we'll give it to you. We're just going to give it to you over payments.
This seems very simple.
Once you have it, it's very simple. Once it clicks, you're like, oh, okay, I get how that works.
And the estimated mortgage, we want to stay like, I was told below 20K left on it.
No, that's not a thing. Or I mean, that's not. I don't know the context of what someone would say that, but you can sub to a $500,000 mortgage if the numbers work.
Okay, I was about to say because I've been like going through and I see like on Prop Fire and it says like 40% equity, and it's still got like 300K left, so I just go right by it.
I mean, you'll have a hard time getting hybrids to cash flow. Because on a hybrid, what are we asking the investor to do? We're asking them to pay the mortgage payment and then pay payments on top of the equity to the seller, and then they get to keep whatever's left over. And usually that cash flow or that cash on cash return doesn't work because the investor is paying both. But sometimes it does. And if it does, as long as the numbers work and it makes sense, an investor will buy it.
Okay.
It just has to make sense.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so if I was punching my numbers in right, then I think I got a decent amount of deals regarding like the input or what is it? EF? What's that word?
Where?
Give me a second. Entry fee. That's what it is. I abbreviated everything. Like I wrote stuff down and I abbreviated it without memorizing what the abbreviation is. So entry fee, you just said you want to keep it under like 12, right?
The entry fee, according to the calculator, because again, we're calculating estimated closing costs for the buyer. The reason why we do that is because we're trying to super simplify it for people that are new. But we don't really have to count that because that money is not going to us. We don't control that amount. It's going to depend on the title and escrow company. It's going to depend on the state. It's going to depend on a lot of different factors. The reason why we include it in this calculator is to simplify things for you guys. So that way, when you can tell an investor, yeah, you'll be less than 12% entry all in, all included closing costs and all that. Are you going to be off a couple $100 here and there? Yeah, up or down. But as far as the entry fee percentage, you just want to, again, it needs to make sense. So when an investor goes to buy a property, not through us, just traditionally, what do they have to do? They go to a bank, they get an interest rate, they turn in all their paperwork, they fill out the application, they get their credit run, then they get an interest rate, they get a monthly payment, and then they got to put down 20%, and then they have to pay closing costs. We want to make it better than that. So we want as close to 10% entry fee as possible. And I'm just talking about the down payment, the assignment fee. I'm not talking about the closing costs. Yeah. So we want to keep that as close to 10% as possible, because when we do include the closing costs, now like yours, we're at 12%. That's a good deal. It makes sense. We're saving them a lot of money. That's going to entice them to want to buy our deal, because if they went to go buy it traditionally, they're going to be paying 23, 24%. With us, they're paying 12 all in. So the rule of thumb is you want to keep it as close to 10% as possible. Usually, you're going to be at between 12 and 13% as an entry fee percentage. And then you want to make sure that you're not going too far above 15, and you definitely don't go above 20.
Yeah. And then as far as like the cash on cash return,
needs if you want your deal to sell relatively, like you want to have a decent amount of buzz on your deal. Yeah. You want to be at probably around 15% cash on cash return. You
Okay.
can do a minimum of 10 to 12%, but that's an ugly deal. Nobody's
Yeah.
getting excited about that. That's just the bare minimum.
Okay.
You want
Yeah.
you want investors excited, you want to be at about a 15%.
Okay.
And then the last thing you want to check is you want to look at your cash flow. You want to make sure that your cash flow is at least $300 a month or $3,600 a year. And just remember, when you're using this calculator, everything on this entire page, that's all yearly. So this is $9,000 a year is what
Yeah.
the investor will be making, which is a good deal.
Yeah. Okay.
What is that, like $750 a month? $750 a month. So that's a good deal because the minimum is 300.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like that. And then so when I'm in inputs and I'm doing my desired assignment fee, that
Mhm.
is how much I want to get out of it, or like we want to get out of it, right?
That's how much you want to make. Yes.
Okay. And then just talking to the realtor commission, like that's like I'll get the information from them and then put it into the
Yeah, and you can help the real estate agent with their commission. I mean, I want everyone to get paid, but if they're charging on this one, let's say they were charging 3%, right? That's what, 87.50 for this purchase price. Now we go over to back to this deal, which was phenomenal in the first place. Now look at it. Now it's still a good deal. In this case, it still works, but that's a lot less attractive than what it was before.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So you just got to be a little wary of that. But if the deal fits, then yeah, let's get everybody paid, even the real estate agent. But a $3,600 or $36,000 entry fee is, I mean, what would you rather pay? 36,000 or 44,000?
36.
So I mean, it's one of those things. But again, even with this one, it still worked. The deal still, you're still under 15%. You're probably under 14 if I took the closing costs out. And your cash on cash return was still 20%, and your cash flow doesn't change by going higher on the down payment. So you're okay there.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I feel like that is all the questions because I just want to make sure I was getting my underwriting stuff like that right.
If you're watching the videos and everything,
Yeah.
and it seems like you're on track. Like you haven't said anything that was wrong. So I say
Yeah.
keep going, man.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Not a problem, dude. Have a good rest of your day. I'll talk to you later.
You too.
See ya.